Kick the type of shit that only winners can. Call me Mr. Long Schlong, itchy in the hand. Bitch, I been a man, moving like a businessman. Mobbing Dolo, probably canceling our dinner plan. Keep my lungs full of gas with some gold on my collar. Acting stingy with these Benjis, ho, I need every dollar. Got a Dutchie full of spice and a Spice Girl choosing. Got them mad at the guard cause they product ain't moving. I been heavy stepping on them like a triple chin, ho. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? Please come again, ho. Niggas steady playing games, but they never win, no. Scoring every time I touch down like the end zone. Told them I cannot apologize, I keep it bug 50. My beginning came from winning, you ain't gotta fuck with me. I'm the top tier shotter, this is not for the Elo. Putting coochie on my face and putting ops in my relo. Throwing hands at your public school, sound like me. Probably smash away your cousin too, sound like me. Bending corners while I'm bending rules, sound like me. All that shit you talking, it ain't nothing new. Tell them put it in my hand with no lip service. Oh, I been a man, bitch, I been working. Put it in my hand with no lip service. Oh, I been a man, got my wrist working. Ayy, levitating only like a legend can. All my shit be slapping like 11 hands. Got 'em playing catch up, they in last place. Serving niggas dust, it's like a drag race. Dummy think he winning, made me Ellen Mayo. I'm with my yellow bone mommy, whip color mayo. And while you on your way to clocking, on my way to Caicos. I know that all you do is hate, that's all you had to say though. I give not a single fuck how you feel to be real. They been bluffing, they don't know just how it feel to be real. Pulling weight for the squad, winning at the tug of war. He ain't put you on no game, shout it what you fuck him for. Nothing less and nothing more than the illest nigga in it. Bending corners on my pivot, doing donuts, doing digits. Got my hoodie cushions in it, I'm a motherfucking legend. Used to pick her up at 7, had her back around 11. Throwing hands at your public school, sound like me. Probably smash away your cousin too, sound like me. Bending corners while I'm bending rules, sound like me. All that shit you talking, it ain't nothing new. Tell them put it in my hand with no lip service. Oh, I been a man, bitch, I been working. Put it in my hand with no lip service. Oh, I been a man, got my wrist working.
Ay, ay. Look, I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look, Papa don't preach, teachers don't teach, niggas gon' reach, that's facts. I ain't worried about none of that shit, I'm making that cash stack. Bunch of O's like NASCAR, but it's really more like NASDAQ. Why they thinking that they hot shit when they really more like ass crack? Quarter on me like a referee, niggas hating what they'll never be. Small top with a big bottom, yeah, shorty shaped like a letter D. Let her have it, then I let her be. If you love it, gotta let it grow. Crazy cause you really never know. When I'm hurting, never let it show. I'm a two-tone, two-phone, two-chain, new thing, lame whipper. You a broke ass, low class, no cash, certified lame nigga. I been getting to it like I ought to. Couldn't pick, so I bought two. Understand why your chick came, I'm just trying to figure why she brought you. I'm really reppin' and I'm flexed up, and I ain't gotta tell him I'm next up. Sleep on a nigga, they rest up, but I'm up and I'm getting my checks up. Me and the fellas be high as propellers, ain't shit you could tell us we great, nigga. Looking at niggas like, how do you figure, unless you could talk about 8 figures. I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look how we litty, we turned up the city, we raising the bar height. I been finessing, just look at them stressing, yeah, they been up all night. Sipping this water with somebody's daughter, she take what I taught her and build on it. Came in this game on that shit today, ain't in a couple years later, we still on it. Niggas be hating on it, bitches be waiting on it like a new season. I bet an acre on it, I put some paper on it like I'm loose leafing. Buying them assets, build me a cash net, I could fall in. Look at my last bit, ain't got a tiptoe, ho, I'm all in. Think on a level that can't fail, and I roll me a J with the hate mail. Been doing good on the merch sale, all this bread on me look like a bake sale. Tell a young nigga what's really good, I be really good on a jaw jack. Send an email about the bread, I'ma hit you back with the call back. I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be.
Sweet.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. How's everybody doing this Sunday afternoon? Somebody messaged me and said, man, Mark, why you got a show scheduled for 3 p.m.? Today is a game or something. No, I said, look, I don't care nothing about no game. I don't even really pay attention to that shit. I don't even know who's playing. I said, man, I'm going to do it at 3 because I may have to do something else later. All right? You can always watch the replay. You know what I'm saying? You can always watch the replay. I know the excitement may be you want to catch it when it's live because sometimes these lives got to go in the members only, and sometimes we got to take these lives down for reasons. But this is a live stream that I actually did maybe a month and a half ago, but it was interrupted. And I ended up having to put it on private because this is a topic that I discussed that was very, very important when talking about equipment, loans, and leases. And like even yesterday, 3 people hit me up. One person saying, man, can you redo that live because it got interrupted? There was a guy yesterday who is considering getting into one, and I keep getting this equipment loan question, and I've covered this content, but it's not available, so I have to redo it again. The thing is, with this one that I'm going to do today, I'm going to actually compare and contrast. I'm going to show you an equipment loan versus a traditional loan from another institution on how it should look, for what you should see versus what you don't see that you should see. Because these equipment loan places, the way they get you is they don't show you all the details of the things that you should be looking for. So I'm going to show you a compare and contrast on what you need to look for. All right, so come on in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Ivan Tony in the building, representing the city of Win. So shout out to you. Shout out to St. Louis, big boy. Say it's Sunday. Let's keep it calm, bro. It ain't gonna run down on folks tonight. It's Sunday. I'm not planning on run down on nobody. Never. Listen, I'm peaceful, man. STL in the building. Shout out to Ken Hu, Corey Jackson, Andrew Morris just became a member. Shout out to Andrew Morris for becoming a member. Shout out to Andrew Morris for becoming a member. Shout out to Interstate Screw, Detroit in the building. Interstate Screw, I saw your email. I'm gonna get a chance to respond. I think you sent it to me last night or this morning. I'm gonna respond to it. Corey Jackson in the building. Devontae Smalls, what up? Yolanda Brown, Jacksonville in the building. Great Polo, what up? Bag Life, what up? Rich, what up? Atlanta in the building. Craig Freeman, what up? Roberto Lopez, what up? New Jersey in the building. Let me see. Andrew Green. Let's see. June Gotti, what up? Asma Rowland. Mr. Cortez. All right, so boom. First thing I want to do is apologize for the, let's see. One live stream actually went pretty good. Which live stream was that went good? It wasn't last night, I could tell you that much. So last night didn't really, well, it went good to me. Let's see here. I know I had one that was okay. Let's see here. Let's see what we looking at here. Let's see. We have last night. So yeah, Thursday. Okay, so we have to do better when it comes to business. That one was pretty good. The funeral wasn't good, and then the standing on box truck business from last week. Then the funeral. Then we have to do better was good, and then the last two live streams is just I apologize. I'm sorry. I should have nipped that shit in the bud, but whatever. It is what it is. I apologize, but every now and again we might have to get a little messy. We're gonna try to keep the messiness to a minimum, but I see every now and again you gotta get messy. But I think people like that for some reason. I see that people like uh the BS, and that's okay. We can entertain you with some BS from time to time. We can entertain you with some BS from time to time. You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna be often. Today is a makeup. So Pippi, I'm not tolerating anything today. I'm not doing it. All right. So we need to, because this is a serious topic, this equipment loan leasing stuff. So people need to see and understand what equipment loan entails. It's predatory. All right. It's predatory. So once again, let's get back to work. If I have to put that black suit on later, I got a feeling I might have to put that black suit on one more time. And if that be the case, then I'll do it. But for right now, let's get back down to business. All right. Shout out to Kobe, Roberto. Let's get into it. So boom, equipment loans, equipment funding, predatory. All right. Now, somebody asked me this question last night, and I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I wouldn't do it. I would find another way. Well, Mark, what if I got bad credit? If Mark had bad credit and I wanted to go out and buy a box truck today, I would find another way. What that way may be or entail, I don't know. But I'm not going to put me personally. You have to do what you got to do for you. But me personally, I'm not doing it. I know it's predatory. Those loans are structured for people who do not know any better or for people who are desperate. If you know better, you're desperate. If you don't know better, you're ignorant because you haven't done the research, and that's who they prey on. All right. So let's get straight to it. I'm not going to waste no time. I want to kind of get this in and out. I want to keep this one brief. So I got a few different loans that I'm going to show you. These are real loans. These are not made up for example purposes only. I've redacted private personal information. All right. Obviously, because we don't want to expose people's social security numbers, so on and so forth. Let me just make sure we got everything out of there. Boom. All right. So let me share my screen. All right. So Exhibit A. Exhibit A. All right. So this is an equipment funding agreement. All right. Now let's pay attention to this. Vehicle was purchased from Ryder, right? Ryder does not do in-house financing. So it sourced Top Mark funding to broker the deal. And Top Mark funding brokered the deal to another company, which I have in here and I'll show you in a minute. Now, if you look at this, this is the equipment finance agreement. Now, for anybody that's ever purchased a vehicle from a traditional bank, or let's say you purchase your truck from a traditional bank, this is not what the finance agreement normally looks like. The finance agreement, it's missing some things, right? The main thing that it's missing is the interest rate. All right, whenever you're financing something, there should be an interest rate, right? Now, I've looked at a multitude of equipment funding agreements from subscribers. All right. When I did the video, the live stream the first time, a lot of people started sending me their deals and having me look over their deals. And what you see here is what I saw with other people that had these equipment funding deals. None of them showed the interest rates. The way they get you is they buy the truck, right? You go in the rider, you see a truck like this gentleman saw one for 58,000, right? So you buy the truck for 58,000, or at least that's what you think you're buying a truck for. They hit you with a direct finance cost of 750. All right. For whatever this is, I don't know. I do know, but I got to pull up all that other information. I'm not going to do it because I want to get straight to the point. All right. Total finance amount. Now, this is the trick bag. This is the trick bag because when you look at this, it's saying total financed amount $59,407.25. But that's not true, right? If you pull out your trusty handy dandy calculator, right? So total finance amount $59,407.25. Term of contract 60 months. Payment frequency monthly. Total number of payments 60, right? So that's 60 months, right? So that is a 5-year deal. All right. EFA payments made up front. Most equipment lending loans, they're going to want you to pay 2 payments up front. So this person had to pay 2 payments up front, which was the first payment and the last payment, which leaves a remaining 58 payments at $1,605.23. Now, boom, you take your calculator. $1,605.23 times 58 is $93,103.34. Right. Now you can add another 1605.23 to that, right? Why? Because you had to pay the first month, right? And then you can add another 1605.23 to that because you had to pay the last month. So in total, for a $58,657.25 truck, which it says right here, total financed amount. Total financed amount means total financed amount with interest. Here it says 59,000. But if you add the payments times 60 months, it totals out to $96,313.80. Now, for most people who are going into these places looking for a deal, who are in desperate situations or who don't know any better, when they get approved, they get that moment of excitement. They're happy because maybe they've been getting turned down. Maybe they have bad credit. And here's a place that's saying, okay, we're going to work with you. They're going to talk nice to you. Yeah, we want you to win. We're going to work with you. That's what we're here for. We're here to help, man. Yeah, we're here to help, man. Don't worry about it. We got you. They're playing with your emotions. They're putting you in a situation where you feel like they're on your side. They're looking out for your best interest. So when you get presented with this equipment finance agreement and you don't know any better and you're looking at this, what most people look at is that monthly payment, $1,605, right? Because now they're adding up their expenses. Okay, my insurance is this. So-and-so on Instagram said, man, I'm going to be making $7,500 a week. So $1,605 a month ain't nothing. If I'm making $7,500 a week, man, that ain't nothing. Now, making $7,500 a week is capped, but they don't know that because they naive, right? And they naive to the point that they sitting in this position anyway, because if they knew better, they do better. Right. So they looking at the 1605 like, all right, bet. Ain't nobody else messing with me that I tried. 1605 ain't nothing. They sign on the dotted line. Now, once that they take that 1605 and times it times 60 to realize that they're paying, okay, 58,000 to 96,000. That's almost $40,000. That's $38,000 on top of that $58,000 that they're going to pay over the term of 60 months, which is 5 years. They're damn near bought the truck twice. You can pretty much say they bought the truck twice. Nowhere do you see an interest rate, nothing. Why? Because the equipment funding company has placed a fixed number on what they feel like they want to make on this deal. Now, this particular gentleman came to me, right? And they gave me the okay to share this, which I did on the last live I did. And the reason why they came to me is because they needed to talk to somebody that could look over this and really give them the honest truth on how to proceed forward. And I advised them on how to proceed forward. And sure enough, the information that I told him to seek from these people has fallen on deaf ears. He's been getting a runaround. I've been forwarded the chain of emails since this information was presented to me on what to ask for, and they're getting a runaround from the broker, which is Top Mark, to the actual company that financed the deal. Top Mark is the broker. The finance company is the equipment lender is telling Top Mark has the finance rate. Top Mark saying no, it's the other company. So they're both placing the blame on each other. Why? Because it doesn't exist. If the deal was $58,000, they said we want to make $38,000 on this $58,000. There was no interest rate. Every single equipment loan has a fixed number. If there was an interest rate, it would be included in the equipment finance agreement on the equipment finance agreement page. Look at the last car you bought. If you're paying a note, look at the bill of sale. The interest rate is going to be typed in. It's going to be a blank line there, and it's going to be typed in there. All right. So this is what you see. All right. Here's all the verbiage. There's nowhere in here that shows an interest rate. Nowhere. This is the agreement. You don't see anywhere where it's written in. All right. If you read this verbiage, it talks about the prepayment penalty. And in this particular agreement, the prepayment penalty is paying the truck in full. It's not even on a percentage base. It's not even on a tiered percentage base. Well, if you pay it off 12 months early, it'll be a 5% extra. If you pay it off 24 months early, the earlier you pay it off, some companies that give you a tier. If you pay it off 2 years early, you'll have to pay 10% penalty. If you pay it off the first year, it'll be a 30% penalty. This is, listen, you could sign this deal today, and if you pay it off tomorrow, if somebody gives you the money tomorrow to pay off it right now, we still want $96,000 from you. All right. So this is what an equipment finance agreement loan looks like. It looks just like this. All right. Now, and this is for a 2014 Freightliner. So this guy's going to pay roughly $96,000, almost $100,000 for a 2014 Freightliner. Now, let's look at a better deal. Let's look at a better deal. Let me 1 second here. Let me pull this up. Let me see. Wait 1 second, y'all. Where's the finance agreement at? All right, right here. All right, I'm gonna share this. All right, now here's what a better deal looks like. Make sure y'all come on in, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Come on in, help everybody that's having a good Sunday. Now, here is another subscriber. And here's a truck that they recently purchased. Obviously, as you can see here, September 14th, 2023. As you can see here, it was a advance payment amount of $5,500 down. Unlike the previous person who went through Ryder, this is through Penske. All right. Obviously, this is the company that they went through. All right, boom. Now, this is the equipment finance agreement on what you should traditionally see for any vehicle you buy that you're financing, whether it's a car, whether it's a commercial vehicle. Every single vehicle that I've ever purchased that I've paid a note on, the finance page, right, is similar to this, right? Right here, interest. It's in black and white, 12.75%. All right. It's in black and white. If you look at here, payment schedule, $5,500 down, a note of $1,336.17 a month. Financed amount, $64,556.50, right? $64,556.60. All right. So now let's pull up what the truck sold for. All right, it is a 2017 International. The insurable value is $44,000. Let me show you guys what the truck was purchased for, so you can get an idea of the purchase amount separated from the financed amount. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta open up another screen. So let me pull that up. All right, here's the contract. It was purchased a level 1 vehicle through Penske. Right here, 2017 International, 228,000 miles, $53,244. All right, here's the state tax, the county tax, the total price. Deposit, obviously, to hold the truck. Total amount was $55,837.97. This is what the truck was sold to the company that was financing it. $55,000, similar to the $58,000 from the previous guy who went through an equipment, a predatory equipment funding place. Not all equipment funding places are predatory. That's something else that I have to state. I don't want you to think every single company is predatory. Most of them are. So what I'm trying to tell you now is, because I got to remember that I have to be very, 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 very specific, right? Because I don't want people thinking, well, let me not go look. There are some fair places. They're minimal, but they do exist, right? Now, this truck is comparable to the last truck. $3,000 difference, right? $55,000 and $58,000, right? So this truck was sold for $55,000 to this company here. All right, and what we see here, the difference between the truck that was purchased from a person who paid attention to details, because he actually, did he consult with me before he bought this truck? I don't think he did. He just knows how to shop a deal. Some people just know how to shop a deal. They're careful. So $55,000 he's going to end up paying $64,000 for the truck. Financed amount. Versus the person who bought the truck for $58,000, who's going to end up paying $96,000 for the truck. Here's the interest rate. Versus, let's do a side by side. Let me see. Let me pull that one back up, y'all. I want to do a side by side for y'all. Let me pull it up. Give me 1 second here. Downloads. Redacted agreement. All right, here it is. All right, let me pull this side by side. Close that out. All right, boom. Let's share the screen. All right, so all right. This is how it should look. This right here is how it shouldn't look. This is the equipment finance agreement. This is the equipment finance agreement. This is the verbiage. All this is the verbiage, but it details the interest rate. This never details the interest rate. It tells you the total financed amount with the interest rate. This tells you the total financed amount, $59,000, but when you times 1605 times 60, it comes out to $96,000. The attention you should be paying is in the details. The only way you're going to get in this situation on the right is if you put yourself in that situation. The only way you're going to get yourself into this situation on the right is if you put yourself in that situation. So now here's a person who bought a truck for $3,000 less, and he's going to end up spending $30,000 less for the truck than the person who paid $3,000 more for a truck. This person purchased a 2017 for $55,000. He's going to pay $64,000 for it when it's all said and done. This person on the right bought a 2014 for $58,000. That's going to end up paying $96,000 for it. The attention is right here that you should be paying is in the details. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. If you read this through and you do your calculations when you're sitting at that table or when you're going back and forth with these companies and you start doing the math, there's no way you should sign off on some shit like this when it's saying total finance amount 59, but you're looking at 1605 a month times 16. Times 60, I mean. So when everybody keeps asking me this question, Mark, well, I'm in this situation, my credit is bad. You know, everybody denying me this is the only place. I want you to think about it. Here's somebody that was in a similar situation and they made the right decision. This is an equipment finance agreement. This is an equipment finance agreement. This is the decision that you have to make as a business owner. If you put yourself in this situation on the right, you put yourself in that situation. I don't care if this is the only place that's giving you an opportunity. Me personally, find something better. All right. When you know better, you do better. Oh God, like every time I talk to him, it just, and it's not even my money, but I get upset. This $40,000, whenever you buy money, when you take out a loan or when you get a loan, you're buying money. How thirsty are you or how desperate are you to buy money? It's just like going to the store with inflation. How desperate are you? If there's a limit on what you want to buy eggs for, and you go to Kroger or you go to Publix, these stores ain't even in my market. I'm trying to think of stores that are everywhere. Publix, Kroger, Walmart, and you go to, let's say, Kroger, and a carton of eggs are $10. You go to Publix, a carton of eggs are $8. You're not used to paying $10 for a carton of eggs. You're not used to paying $9 for a carton of eggs. You go into Publix, you don't want to buy that carton of eggs for 10. You don't want to buy that carton of eggs for 9 at Kroger because you know that Walmart has it for 5. So you may go to both of those stores, bypass those eggs, and still go to Kroger. You've put a value on the eggs on what you're willing to pay for them. If I take out a loan and I apply for a loan and I apply for a $1,000 loan and they come back and say, all right, we're going to give you the loan for 20%. So you want to buy $1,000 from us for $200. I may not feel that I want to buy $1,000 for $200. You're buying money. I only want to buy $1,000 for $100. I'm only willing to spend 10% on the dollar. 10 points on the dollar. I only want to buy $1,000 for $100. So me, if somebody's offering me the deal for 20 points, I'm walking away. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to go find somebody that's going to give it to me for 10 points. Same thing here. If I need that 1,000, I'm not going to put myself in a trick bag. I'd rather go without it than to put myself in a more difficult situation. The point of me getting into business is to take myself out of sticky situations because I'm creating something that's going to bring me income. I'm not looking to put myself in more stickier situations because with business, sticky situations are going to come in general. I don't want to create those sticky situations for myself. I'd rather hire retards, right? And you know how we kick it on this channel. We want to make it a little, entertaining. I want to hire some employees that are going to go out and mess some stuff up, and then I have to deal with those situations. I want to deal with situations that I expect from being a business owner, dealing with employees, right? Because they're not going to take my business serious as I'm going to take it. So I know that they're going to make mistakes that it's going to end up costing the company. Being a company owner, I have to make sure that I make the best decisions as possible. I need to make sure I'm damn near perfect. So you can't make ill-advised decisions like this. And the reason why this is ill-advised is because you're not paying attention to the details. I'm giving you the information so you know what to look for so you can be a better negotiator. All right? I was once naive. I wasn't like this naive. But once I learned how to shop deals for vehicles, and a finance manager gave me this knowledge. Most dealerships control the deal. And I've said this before. Most dealerships control the deal. You can get leverage from the finance manager at the dealership with your personal car. I tell the dealership how much I want to pay on interest. I tell them. They don't tell me. The bank doesn't determine the deal. The dealership, the finance guy determines the deal. Mark, that don't make sense. The bank is the one buying the vehicle, but check this out. The dealer is the middleman. If 10, and I'm telling you this for your personal vehicles, I'm giving you sauce. You go into Mercedes-Benz on a Saturday, their busiest day. You want to buy a new S580. You approve, your credit is good, you're not worried about that. They come back and they say 9 points, 9%. I need to be at 6. I got 775 credit score. I want to be at 6. I understand we're dealing with inflation. I'm not going to be able to get 3 or 4 like prior to the pandemic. I think 6 is fair. I'm willing to pay 6. Well, Chase said they can do 9. That's the best deal we got. Bullshit. Call Mercedes-Benz North America. Tell them I want 6. The finance manager can then call Mercedes-Benz North America, let them run the deal, let Mercedes-Benz North America come back with like 7.75, and the finance manager can say, we need you to put this customer at 6. And now you asking me, why would the finance company let the dealer tell them where to put you at? You know why? Because the next 30 customers that come in, we can shop them at Chase. We can shop them at BMO. We can shop them at Bank of America. Shit, we can shop a Mercedes-Benz customer at BMW. We can shop them at Ally. We can shop them at GMAC Financial. We can shop them at Wells Fargo. The bank isn't sitting in the dealership to sell the loan. They're waiting on the dealerships to call them. And every single banking institution wants the dealership to call them first. So if I tell the bank, Wells Fargo, whoever it is, look, y'all came back at 7.75, but this customer has leased a Mercedes from us, 3 Mercedes from us in the last 9 years, they've leased 3. Or I've sold this guy 2 S-Series in the past 6 years. I need you to shade that 1.75% off for this customer. What you think the bank is going to say? You think the bank is going to let a deal walk out for a point, damn near a point and a half, 1.75%? Nah. They're going to shave it off. They're going to drop it from 7.75 to 6% off the strength of the finance manager, because they already in cahoots. They talk every day. And he doesn't want to piss off the finance manager, because he knows without the finance manager calling him, he's got a plethora of other different banking institutions he called. That's the leverage that the dealership has on over the banks, because they're the first point of contact. And I can call whoever and shop the deal. I don't got to call you. I don't have to call you. This is how you shop. You have to be smart. You have to go in making the right decision so that you can save money over time, because this 40 grand that this person is spending can be put into a second vehicle. He's paying $25,000 to $30,000 more than what he should be paying versus what that person is paying on the left. And these are real case scenarios, recent case scenarios from 2 subscribers that volunteered me show this. I didn't ask them for this. They volunteered, hey, show this. The way you start your business is the way you finish your business. You started in a tough situation, you're going to continuously be in a tough situation. You get off the ground running smart the right way, that's less headaches you have to worry about throughout the tenure of your business. You can focus on other things, because things are going to come, they're going to come up. Problems are going to come up. Problems are going to arise. The object is to make money. You want your margins, you want your profit margin to be bigger. So you got to keep your costs down. Any questions? Any questions on equipment loans? Any questions on equipment loans? Let me start at the top. Shout out to Jessica. Appreciate you for becoming a member. Appreciate that.
Sweet.
I'm answering that shit. Shout out to Spoken. What's good, Big Herm? Creative Investor said, when you have time, I want you to go over my office so you can tell me how bad it is. Well, hopefully it's not bad at all, but shoot me an email, mark@thementormark.com. Make sure you attach it, and I'll check it out. Let me put it in the chat. Attach everything and shoot it over to me, Creative Investor. and I'll take a look at it. Anybody else that want me to look at their loan, shoot it to me at that email, and I'll take a look at it. Backlash says getting your credit right is a must before you start business. True, but a lot of people don't do that. For whatever reason, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Which goes back to what I say, you know, if your credit isn't right, then you definitely want to get your credit right because, you know, these companies, especially the company on the right, this is how they make money. This is how they make money. They make money off desperation and people that don't know any better. It's not good to be desperate in business. And it's definitely not wise to not educate yourself on what you are investing in. But yes, your credit should be in order. I've been telling you, much needed information. Keep cooking, Mark. Appreciate you. What's going on with Breakfast Club? What is this about? Hey, Pippi. Yeah, I ain't not today. We no tolerance. I was a 1099 employee for the past 3 years on a small 2010 cargo van, living off my vehicle. I gross living off your vehicle. Okay, I gross 48,000. I'm looking to upgrade to bigger cargo van. Go TR. My score is 634. 10,000. Small 2010 cargo van. Roberto, I think you need to give me more details because I need to see how your business is structured, what you're doing, to be able to determine if this is a good time. 48,000, it's not bad, but let's see if we can increase that 48 to 100. So I need to see what you're doing. I think the next call-in show, you might want to call up and give me the details of how your business is structured, and maybe I can coach you to, making more money in the vehicle you got now. Let me see what you're doing in it first before you try to upgrade and incur another bill for yourself. You may not need to get another bill. You may be able to maximize with what you have. I think 48 is kind of low. I've coached people into 100,000+ in their cargo van. So I need to see what you're doing. I may be able to coach you into $20,000 a month in your cargo van. So let me see what you're doing, and then we can go from there. So the next call-in show, make sure you're here. Make sure your notifications are on, and you call in. Rapid Transit said maintenance and having a newer vehicle, or you could swap out at any time. Shout out to M.Sale. What up? Vaughn said, Mark, you spitting now. Thank you. Appreciate you. With those loans, do you get a warranty? So with the loan on the left, this came with a warranty, and the cost of the warranty is included in this price. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, let me show you one more thing about the loan on the right too, versus the loan on the left versus the loan on the right. All right. So this loan, unlike the loan on the right, which is the predatory loan, the prepayment penalty is still the loan in full. So you sign the deal today, Mark comes tomorrow and gives you $97,000 cash. You say, hey, I know I signed this loan yesterday, but a buddy loaned me $97,000 yesterday, so I just want to pay it off. Just charge me for the 1 day of interest. So I'm not going to owe you guys $96,000. I should only owe you guys $58,000 and something. Nope, you still owe us $97,000 because you signed a prepayment penalty for the total amount of the loan, which is $1,605 times 60. Now, on the right, this loan prepayment penalty fee is a percentage. All right, 5% of the principal balance if the prepayment date is on or before a Centium's receipt of the 12th payment. 4% of the principal balance, so on and so forth, as you can see it right here. All right, so it's structured a little bit different. It's still a prepayment, but it's not as extensive and predatory as the more predatory loan that you saw on the left side over here. All right. So the loan that you see on the left does come with a warranty. Now that all depends on the vehicle. If the warranty was still on the vehicle, if a warranty was purchased for the vehicle where there's still some mileage or some time in that warranty period left. So that can depend. Great Polo. I'm trying to see if I see the warranty information on this so I can show you it in the deal here. 1 second. Yep, here it is. All right, so for the Penske truck, the subscriber purchased the warranty. The truck was actually less than 50 some thousand. The truck was actually 45,000. The warranty was $7,925, which was included into the loan. So that was added to the 45,000, which brought it up to the 53,000, and then once you added the taxes, it brought it up to the 55,000 that you see over here. The warranty was $7,200. It was a 36-month comfort package. You can see the taxes. He got an add-on, which was another $949 to the warranty. So he paid a little over $8,000 for this warranty. The truck was purchased recently for $45,000, which brought it up to $53,000 after you added the warranties. After taxes, brought it up to $55,000. The other loan that you see here, the predatory one, did not include a warranty. It did not include a warranty. And the reason why this guy is reaching out to me now for advice on how to proceed with this company is because the truck is having issues. The truck is having issues now. So, it always gets down to something that's affecting the business negatively for people to pay attention to what they sign initially whenever they start their business or purchase a truck. The truck is costing a lot of money right now to repair. There's an issue with the truck, and it's costing a lot of money, which has gave him the time to go back and look at the contract because now he wants to get out of the truck. He's looking at the deal now. Obviously, there's no warranty here. He still owes $72,000 on the vehicle. He's been paying the vehicle for about 14 months now. He had to put down a sizable amount of money and upwards of 10 grand or more. He still has a $72,000 balance on this truck. Where this guy, his truck didn't even come up nowhere near $72,000. His truck on a $45,000 and $8,000 warranty, he's only going to finance the truck out at $64,000. So, as you can see here, so I'm gonna pull that out, pull that up here. And if you got to blow your phone up or your screen, I'm sorry, because I'm trying to do it side by side so I know it's smaller. So 64,000 versus here 96,000. Should I look more to get a personal loan? So there's one guy that went on another channel and said he listened to my channel and I advised to get a personal loan, and he did that. So he went and got a personal loan. So if you can get a personal loan, I would say get a personal loan because you're going to pay less for that loan than you would if you go this route. If you can get a personal loan, you may be able to come out a lot better than getting the equipment financing alone. You want to go with the best option that's going to save you the most money. So if you can get a personal loan for 7% or 8%, you can take that money under the personal loan that money to the business. The business goes out and purchases the vehicle. As the business is working, that business now is indebted to you personally, and that business is paying you back. However you got it set up, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, it's paying you back, and then you can pay the loan company back. All right. So that is an option. Marcel says, how do I start business credit? First, you get your personal credit in order. Then once you start a business, you can go apply for business credit, and then you just build your business credit. All right. You have to go out and purchase things and pay them off in a timely fashion. You can get a business credit card, 30% utilization, pay it off. The same way you build your personal credit, you just mimic that in business. Instead of you buying things personally, you're buying things for the business. And the same way you build your personal credit, you build your business credit. Some people like to do those trade lines and use companies like Uline and some of those other companies. I never use those companies. Why? Because I'm all about saving a dollar. Uline is extremely expensive. So I never utilized those companies to build my credit because I didn't want to pay $30, $40 more for a case of shrink wrap than I could pay it at CDS or New Haven, right? So I built my business credit by utilizing my business credit cards. I financed 2 new vehicles, and that was fine for me. My business was always bringing in a lot of capital. Moving company, that's a lot of capital. The way I operated my final mile, a lot of capital. So I always had cash on hand. Me personally, I prefer to use what's available to me that I can go touch than go borrow. If I have it, I'd rather utilize it. Some people like the OPM, other people's money. I've always opted to utilize the business's money. Those offers that you get once you're in business and you have a good track record, you start having these companies offering you 200, 250, 300,000, $500,000, $1 million. That's good, right? But it also takes a lot of self-control. Now, I'm not saying I would be the type of person that would get those lines of credit. I've had lines of credit for 6 figures. My moving company, my final mile company had lines of credit for 6 figures. But I refused to use them because I didn't want to be indebted. Didn't want to be indebted. All right. I use what I need to use to build the credit up. Take out 10,000 here. I remember one truck I bought. I went out and bought 2 trucks. 5 and 6 I went out and bought. I took the money for those 2 trucks out, the business line of credit. I paid for those 2 trucks, and then I paid that business line of credit back. We had the capital, but I wanted to use the business line of credit so that it could, help boost my credit rating, my credit score. So, it's different ways you could do it, but the way you want to do it, the way it's worked for me was just mimicking the same way I built my personal credit. Buy things, keep my utilization down, 30%, pay that shit off. Got 2 vehicles. I was financing my 4th truck and my 7th. So my 4th and my 7th vehicle, I was paying those notes monthly, right? I had a business line of credit. I had 2 business credit cards, and I would use those credit cards. Also, my universal premium. So my fuel, my fleet cards, universal premium. So me paying those bi-monthly. I had to pay those bi-monthly, and they reported. So that was enough for me. So same way you build your personal, you build your business. More Motivation Enterprises. What up, Mark? Just started watching your channel. Content is fire. My question is, do you need insurance to obtain your DOT MC? No, you don't need insurance to obtain your DOT and MC, but you need insurance to go active. Good afternoon. What do you think about a rental agreement in which you can eliminate the maintenance and swap it out for a new vehicle at any time? What do I think about a rental agreement in which you can eliminate the maintenance and swap it out. Oh, so you basically just talking about traditional rental. So there's some creators that say, well, rental vehicle is the best way because you don't have to pay for the maintenance. Now, this is my argument, and some people disagree. Put yourself in the mind of a business. This is how you can always answer a lot of questions for yourself. Put yourself in the mind of a business. You are paying for the maintenance. You're paying a premium, and you're paying off someone else's truck. And what you're paying on that truck, the maintenance is baked in to whatever your weekly cost is. If I were running a rental company, the purpose of me buying trucks and renting them out is to make money, right? I don't want to incur any cost on the truck. The purpose of the business is for the truck to pay itself off and me make money off of that, right? So after the R&D, the research and development, after studying the market, what does an average renter, how many miles does an average renter drive? What does it cost? What's the maintenance cost for an average renter? What's the maintenance cost per vehicle yearly? Once you do all your research, collect all your data, you'll be able to formulate a number of what you can charge a rental, right? So now if we're buying X amount of trucks straight from the manufacturer, because we're buying wholesale, we're a rental company, we're not buying from the dealer, we're getting a wholesale, we're getting a fleet deal. So we're buying them at wholesale, right? And we have to put a number on what we're going to charge. That's going to include how much we're going to charge, how much we're self-insured, right? And how much the maintenance is going to cost. And that's going to all be baked into that weekly rate. You're paying for the maintenance. It's baked in. If you're paying $1,000 a week on a truck, you're spending $4,000 a month. Let's make it even better. Let's make it $750 a week times 4. All right, that's $3,000 a month times 12 months. That's $36,000 a year. Let's say the truck is $60,000. All right, that's $60,000. You damn near pay half of the truck in a year. You don't think you're paying for the maintenance? You're paying for the maintenance. It's baked in. Now, you're running your box truck business. You just spent $36,000 on a truck that you could have went out and purchased, and it's yours. Yes, things are going to happen with your box truck. Maintenance is just a part of the business. You have to pay to get things fixed. It's a machine. It's going to break down. It's just like purchasing a home. Eventually, over a period of time, your furnace is going to go out. Eventually, your hot water boiler is going to go out. You're going to have to get these things replaced. So you are paying for the maintenance. Believe it or not, I know there's some people out there telling me you don't have to pay for the maintenance. I disagree. You are paying for the maintenance. All these rental companies have the maintenance baked into the cost of the rental. They don't pay for nothing. They don't pay nothing on the truck. Whatever they purchase the truck for, the renter is paying off everything from recouping their money for what they purchased for the truck, down to the maintenance, down to the registration, down to the repairs. Ryder, Penske, Enterprise, Budget, all these companies are self-insured. Why? Because they're too big to get insured through other companies. So these companies qualify for being self-insured. And the renter is paying everything for the truck. Penske is not paying for anything on that truck, down to the tires. You're paying for it. You're paying for it. Some of these trucks can recoup what it cost them in the first year. Some of these trucks can recoup their initial cost in the first year. So now once they recoup their initial cost in the first year and they run that truck in their fleet for an additional 5 years, 4 to 5 years, that's pretty much all profit. It wouldn't be a business if they paid for the maintenance. Their margins are ridiculous. Why do you think 2022 and 2021, Every single truck rental company broke records. Enterprise did so good, they started expanding. Because everybody got into the box truck business and everybody paid inflated rates. And people are still paying inflated rates. Truck pays for itself 100%. Penske, they don't invest any money into their trucks. Ryder, they don't invest nothing into the trucks. The moment that truck hits the lot for rental or lease, that truck is paying itself back. You're paying for it. That's the purpose of the business. It's just like buying a building, a 3-flat, and renting the apartments. One apartment may cover the cost of your mortgage. One apartment you may put in a fund for maintenance. The third unit is profit. You're not spending you're not spending a dollar. Once you make back your initial investment, everything else is profit. And it's an appreciating asset. Truck rental business is similar. If I bought trucks to rent them, right? I'm not paying for that. Once I make the initial purchase, the truck is recouping that money and then it's profit. I got maintenance baked in. Whether it be $30 a day, if I'm charging you $150 a day for the truck rental, $25 of that is a maintenance baked in. Because I already know the statistics. Okay, we got a Freightliner. This is what is going to be due up for a PM at this many miles. This is how much a PM costs. History shows that Freightliners, this problem goes wrong at this many miles. It costs this much to fix. So over a period of, let's say, 24 months, we need to add an extra $6.23 to every rental to be prepared for when this truck has this issue. It usually has it around the 23, 24. Like, these companies have the R&D down to a science. So I know this is a long-winded answer, but I don't want people to think that they're not paying for the maintenance when they rent a truck. You are paying for the maintenance. It's just baked into the cost of the rental. It's business. You're paying for it. I buy a rental truck business. I'm not paying for none of them trucks. You're going to pay for them. Whatever it costs me to cover all my costs and make a profit, that's what I'm going to charge you daily. That's how I make money. I don't make money investing back into the truck. I make money off having you pay for every single aspect of the truck and me adding a profit margin on top of that. And incentivizing floors to tell you shit like, oh, well, rent a truck, you don't pay for the maintenance. Here, we're going to make you the brand ambassador. Keep pushing that narrative. Keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. Keep saying that you don't pay for the maintenance so that more people can buy in with that mentality, which isn't true, because whole time the maintenance is baked in. This is how we are making billions of dollars a year. This is why Penske can spend millions of dollars to put a race car in the Indy 500. Would you recommend an equipment loan that's not predatory? Would you recommend an equipment loan that's not predatory if that's your only option? If it's not predatory and it's fair, yes. Once you go through the contract and then you read it and it's fair and it's not predatory, like how this one is on the left. I mean, on the one on the right is predatory. The one on the left is non-predatory, right? If it's non-predatory like the one on the left, then yes. Why not? Could I use my good credit for business credit? Yes. Let me move this out the way. Mark, when do you think is a perfect time to add a second vehicle to your fleet? Thinking of adding a cargo van here in the Atlanta area to keep the box and keep the box OTR. I think it's a good time when the first truck can afford to pay for a second truck. If you having to go back into your pocket, then it's not the right time. Which means your business has to be sustainable. It's being able to sustain itself. It's being enough to pay you, right? Right? Pay you whatever the salary that you need to receive to be able to take care of your household and be able to cash flow. All right. So you need cash flow. You need to be able to cover payroll, all your other fixed and variable expenses, and cash flow. If the cash flow says, hey, we can expand, then that's how you know it's time to expand. If you're having to go back into your pocket to scale the business, then it's not time for the business to expand. That is what has always worked for me. Once I started with the first vehicle, I never went back in my pocket, ever. Never. I never had to loan the business money. So whatever you got to do in that first vehicle to make that business, put that business in a position where it's able to expand and scale, then that's what you need to do. If you can't expand in your current situation without having to lend that business money and go back in your pocket, then it's not time. I had a question to make a jump 634 scored debating credit union. If you can scroll a little higher. Sorry, the chat, as more people put stuff in the chat, it keeps jumping. So I gotta always scroll to see what was the last comment I read. I'm a 1099 employee for the past 3 years. No, I answered this question. I thought I answered this. Yeah, I answered that question. I need to talk to you. You need to wait till the next show where you can hit the link and come up, because I need to understand the whole scope of your business. To me, once you tell me the scope, I may say, man, me personally, I don't think you should go out and buy another vehicle. I might say, man, I don't think you reaching the maximum potential with the vehicle you got. You got a 2010, so to me, it's paid for. You telling me you grossing 48. Depending on what type of 2010 you got, I may say, man, you should be making upwards of 100,000. You just not doing right. So I really got to understand what you got going on before I can answer that, because you might have not reached your full potential in what you have. So I gotta really talk to you. So St. Louis is helping Mario. I see y'all going back and forth. It's me, Hazel. Appreciate the advice, King. Appreciate you for watching. M. Sell, I know you know the answers to these questions. You know how to get a business credit card. Apply for one. Pick a bank that offers business credit cards and apply for it. Capital One, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, so on and so forth. Shout out to Marie. Roberto, appreciate you. Sacha says, I go in there with a check in hand from the credit union, so I'm not there to run credit. Just give me the equipment I want. That's another alternative. If you have a credit union and the credit union can cut you a check and you pay the credit union back, that's another alternative. It's another alternative, all right? Would I recommend auction trucks? Listen, if you're mechanically inclined or you have someone that you can work with, like a mechanic that you know you're going to get a good rate. See, here's the thing with an auction, especially an online auction. You're buying a truck blind. Some auctions would say as is. Some auctions won't give you too much information. Then you got some that'll give you a lot of information. They'll give you 100 pictures. They'll give you 25, 30 videos. They'll have 5-minute vehicles of the vehicle running so you can hear the engine in the video. They'll tell you if the truck is running or if it's not running. They'll tell you if the transmission is going bad, they'll tell you if it needs head gas. They'll give you a full scope. Some aren't. I think people who buy trucks from auctions, especially online auctions, one or two things. Either they're mechanically inclined or they can get great rates on repairs, so they're not really worried. They're looking at the overall savings cost. Okay, I can buy this truck at $20,000, and worst case scenario, if I need to put an engine or a transmission, if I spend another $20,000, I still got a truck at $40,000 versus me buying a truck at $60,000, $65,000, $70,000. Or it's a person who has a lot of cash on hand that going to bid on a truck and maybe walk away with a truck for $15,000 or $18,000, but they got cash on hand. So boom, worst case scenario, if I gotta drop a tranny or a engine or both, I may spend, let's say $30,000, but I'm walking away with a truck for $48,000 versus $80,000. You see what I'm saying? So you got some people like that are willing to do a little bit more work to save money initially, right? Versus the person who may not have the resources or the capital, who, has to go purchase a more expensive truck because they don't have the resources or capital to deal with the auction, or they don't have the nerves. Some people, they got the nerves plus the resources. I don't have those types of nerves. The nerves I got is going out to Crystal Lake, where I bought all my trucks at, and taking a mechanic with me and test driving, spending the whole day there, 9 to 5. If it's 30 trucks on the lot, we're going to try to test drive and run as many of them as can. I know once 330 start hitting, we got to make a decision on the ones we test drove. Because now we got to go in and do the paperwork so we could take this hour and 45-minute drive back into the city. So my approach was always to take a mechanic, pay a mechanic for the day, take him with me, test drive the truck, and let him advise me on which one is the best. I don't have the nerves to go to the auction. I ain't got them types of nerves. Even though I got my mechanics, I don't have those types of nerves. You know what I'm saying? So a person who buys a truck at auction, you got to have resources. You got to have the nerves for that. So not in today's times, man. Not in today's times. You gotta personally guarantee everything, man. People have just been, as time goes on, people from previous generations are going to continue to make things worse. A lot of people that came into the box trucking business during the pandemic have made it worse for people who are looking to get into the business now. People who are paying the credit game, the business credit game back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s have made it worse for the people now. You got to personally guarantee everything, especially initially. Your first rodeo with an institution, you got to personally guarantee it. You got to personally guarantee it. They may cut you some slack the second go around after you've shown improving yourself, but the first go around, ain't no way around it. Ain't no way. It ain't like back in the day you can go to the bank and say, hey, I've got an idea for this business. Oh, yeah, okay, we believe in you. We trust you. All right, we're going to give you a loan for $10,000 to get your grocery store started. I'm using like real numbers from back in the day when, institutions would just, loan you money based off your word and your idea. It ain't like that no more. You can have the best idea in the world. If you ain't got no collateral, we ain't giving you nothing. You got to be able to personally guarantee it. Would you use a business credit card to buy equipment? Of course. Depending on what type of equipment it is, if the business credit card has a balance to be able to purchase that, then why not? I bought a 250 high roof extended last year with my personal money, but put it in my business name. Can I still write that off? Did you loan the business money? Hopefully you loan the business that money. Good evening. Shout out to James. What's going on? Manny Fresh. Leasing and renting is two different things. Leasing and renting are two different things. And I'm going to tell you why large companies lease. The reason why large companies lease, one, it's a great tax write-off. Right? Larger companies own trucks and they lease trucks. It's a great tax write-off. All right. They can take the reason why a lot of independent owner operators don't lease is because they don't want to sign that 3-year commitment. Big companies can sign that 3-year commitment because they've been in business 20, 30 years. They ain't going nowhere. They can run the trucks ragged and then in 3 years turn them in and do it all over again. A lease agreement and a rental agreement are two different types of agreements. A lease agreement is a lot fairer than a rental agreement. A lot of owner operators aren't leasing trucks. They're renting trucks. You see a lot of large companies lease vehicles from Ryder or Penske. But they're not paying monthly what an owner operator is renting the truck for. They're paying less. It's just like leasing a vehicle. Every luxury vehicle I buy is a lease. I'll never buy a luxury vehicle. Mark, as an individual, never spend $100,000 and something for a vehicle. It's the stupidest thing you can do. But whatever Mark's business is that's leasing that vehicle, yeah, I'll lease it because it's a great write-off. The first year I can write off the depreciation, I can write off the lease, I can write off the fuel. I don't have to pay for the maintenance. If I need a new windshield wiper, I pull back into Mercedes or BMW or Rolls Royce or Bentley or Lamborghini, whatever. If I need a little bit of oil topped off, I take it back to Lamborghini or McLaren or Mercedes, and they'll come out with a quart of oil and they'll pour it in there for me. Why? Because technically it's still their vehicle. I'm just borrowing it from them for 3 years. It's different. Is it safer? I don't think safe really has anything to do with it. I think when you're in business, especially at the beginning stages of being an owner operator, what a lot of people fail to realize, and I have to keep reiterating it because there's a lot of new people, is margins in trucking are small. Your main objective should be to save as much money as possible. Renting a truck is not saving as much money as possible. You're spending more money, which you're decreasing your profit margin. The margins are low. Very, 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 very low. I'd rather buy a truck to increase my margin, and when the truck has an issue, pay for it. If I'm spending on average $1,000 a week, that's $4,000 a month, times 6 months, I spent $24,000 on that rental truck. Versus me paying, let's say, $1,500 a month for financing times 6 months. I spent $9,000. $24,000 minus $9,000 is $15,000 difference. So I have $15,000 more in cash flow by financing that truck than I would if I rented the truck. So God forbid the truck breaks down. It cost me $5,000. I'm still cash flow positive $10,000 more financing the truck than I would be renting the truck. So that $10,000 stays in my pocket versus Penske versus see me. I've never been worried about breaking down because I understand the numbers. Big companies that lease, they don't want to deal with the day-to-day of breakdowns, malfunctions. It's just like a person who's older, who's retired, who rides around in a brand new G-Wagon. They always get a new G-Wagon, or they always get a new Mercedes, or let's say Cadillac. Older people that drive Cadillacs, they stay in them a new a sedan. Back in the day, it was the Fleetwood. Then it became the DTS, the DHS. Now you got the CT6. They're going to keep them a long-ass Cadillac or an Escalade. My OG like that. Brand new Escalade. She keep her Escalade. She old, she from that generation. Cadillac to those boomers are the shit. You can't tell them shit about Cadillac. So people that are older that keep them, those luxury cars, they lease them every 3 years because they want to stay in a new car. They don't want to have to deal with the issues of maintenance arising because they're constantly jumping in and out of a new car. So when those problems do arise, they already out that car. The person who dealing with those issues is the person that when you turn that lease in and then they purchase it 2 more years down the line when the turbo go out. They run running back and forth to Cadillac or Mercedes or BMW dealing with that, with their extended warranty. And then they telling them we can't figure it out. We got to put the car on the machine. So Germany, the technician, and trust me, I've been there. My first BMW I purchased was like a dumbass. I hit 40,000 miles. The turbo kept going out. Joe Perillo couldn't figure out what the hell was going wrong with it. This is why big companies that have a large fleet lease vehicles. They own lease vehicles and then they own vehicles because their business is booming. Them trucks running 6-7 days a week. It's in their best interest to keep something new. You working just off your one truck. You ain't in that situation yet. Ain't shit guaranteed when you new. You trying to save as much money as possible so that you can grow and expand. Why would I want to spend $48,000 a year? Why would I want to spend $48,000 a year when I can spend $18,000 a year? Now that $30,000 that I'm saving, right? I'm using an average of $1,500 finance and an average of $1,000 a week truck rental, including miles. That $30,000 is cash flow in my pocket. So if I spend $12,000 a year in maintenance, that's still an extra $18,000 in my pocket that wouldn't be in my pocket if I would have went the rental route. So it's not safe. I don't think safe has anything to do with it. It's about how much money can you make, and even more important, how much money can you keep? See, that's the issue. How much money can you keep? I'm trying to keep as much money as possible. I don't mind spending money. If I got to spend more money on maintenance in my own vehicle versus spending no money but paying a higher monthly fixed cost of somebody else's vehicle that I'll never own. I'd rather spend the money maintenance and having more cash flow at the end of the year than I would be listening to people saying you don't pay the maintenance costs, which is bullshit because it's baked in. And then trying to figure out, I've been working hard. I'm running 2,500, damn near 3,000 miles a week. I ain't been home in 2 months, and I'm trying to figure out where all the money went. All the money going to your high-ass fixed cost because you scared of maintenance. It's going to happen. You got people that rent trucks, and they trucks break down on the road. And then they got a car roadside, and they in the middle of nowhere. These companies don't want to fly them back home. There's no Penske or no rider nowhere. And now they down for weeks. They got a load on the truck, and it affects their business. Yeah, just because you're not paying for the maintenance don't mean it's not affecting your business. They're going to come get that truck. Shit, you got to figure out how you going to get this load off the truck, how you finna get to there ain't no rider. You in the middle of Booms, Tucks, whatever, Arkansas. You arguing with them back and forth trying to get travel, reimbursed for travel, expenses. Nah. I mean, see, I'm smart. I need to make all the money as possible. Let me buy this truck. Let me pay this $1,500 a month. You can pay $4,000 a month. I want to have $30 more than you at the end of the year, and I'm not worried if I gotta spend 12. Even if I gotta spend 15, that means I still have $15,000 more in cash flow, regardless of what you make, regardless of what I make. When you compare those two trucks, I'm gonna have $15,000 more than you. Because I opted to save money so that I could make more money. It's about how much you make, but more important, it's about how much you keep. I'm trying to keep as much as possible. Mario, yes, just go to your Secretary of State website and do it yourself. It's simple. Just put your personal information in. It's not that difficult. Back at it, Mark. You know people still gonna sign a bad lease. Well, it's gonna always be people that do that. But you know the people that watch the content, that pay attention and listen. Hopefully, we can save one or two people. Shout out to Brew Dog. I answered Sacha already. Did I pass you? Let me see. Manny said, thanks for mentioning that leasing a luxury vehicle is smarter. I've been trying to tell people that one. You know why a lot of people think leasing a luxury vehicle is stupid and it's lame, and that means you rent a car, we own it, all this dumb shit? Because rappers say that shit. Rappers perpetuate that shit. They say it in their lyrics. Yeah, I own the Lamborghini and you leasing, some shit like that. But whole time they sanding on wax, but all they luxury cars that's in their fleet, they're leasing. Why? Because most artists that are relevant, they're constantly on the road. They're constantly touring. They're doing spot dates. They can't drive all those cars anyway. You look at Lil Baby, he got all those cars. He's not as popping as he was a few years ago, but he's still a artist who probably doing 3 to 4 shows a week, right? He's not at home to drive all them damn cars, and even if he was home, you can't drive all them damn cars, so you got cars that are sitting. Not all of these artists own their cars. A lot of these artists are leasing. You know what I'm saying? It's a smarter business play. I made the mistake of my first luxury car, I purchased it because I had this mentality. As soon as the car hit 40,000 miles, the turbo went out. You talking about a 750 Li V8. It's still under warranty, but BMW, the BMW here couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. It stayed at the dealership more than it stayed in my garage. I was furious. Furious. Most of these luxury cars, after the 3 years, they're horrible. And the maintenance on them is ridiculous. I'm talking about $3,000-$4,000 for a brake job. It's the worst investment the worst thing you can buy. Worst, absolute worst. You're going to purchase something over $100,000, you lease it. You have your fun with it. 36 months, you take your pictures. You know, you date all the pretty chicks. You pull all the chicks. You take your pictures. You pull up. You stunt. You have your fun. You write it off. First year, you write off the depreciation. You write off the lease payment. If you're smart, you're leasing it under your business. So, you know, you're using your fuel cards or your business credit card to purchase it. You don't pay. You're not personally paying for it. In 3 years, you turn it back in and you lease something else, or you turn it back in and you walk away. If your business is successful, then you turn it back in and you pick out you something else. You do it all over again. Worst thing to do, buy a vehicle. Like, I don't understand why people do that shit. That shit is stupid. That shit is the dumbest shit you can do. Mark, trying to get off topic, but do you think celebrities who has these exotic vehicles lease them as well? Yeah, I just asked them. Yeah, of course they do. Most of them do. Most of them that are smart and they have a good CPA, if they listen to their CPA, they're leasing them. When I got my first luxury car, my CPA was furious at me. He was furious. So yes, I think a lot of these celebrities, they perpetuate purchasing them, but really they lease them. Marie says BMW was the worst car she ever had. I think I can't speak for the model, the 3 series or the 5 series. I've only had 7 series, and what I can tell you is those 7 series. Once you hit about 40,000 miles, that turbo is an issue. You lease it 3 years, you get out of it, you cool. I don't think they're cars to purchase. I think they're cars to lease. Have your fun with them, and you get out. Same thing with Mercedes. I had a buddy. I advised him not to. He went and bought a pre-owned S550. Man, worst thing I told him. I said, don't do it. I said, if you're going to get it new, lease it. He didn't listen to me. That dude had more problems, and he was putting so much money into that car. It was pathetic. Every time he took it to the dealer, it was $4,000-$5,000. Every time he took it to the dealer, it was $4,000-$5,000. So yeah, all those German cars, BMW, Audi, Mercedes, they're nice, but they're nice to lease. They're not nice to buy. I would never buy a Mercedes. I would never buy a BMW. I'd never buy an Audi. I'll lease them. Never buy them. I bought one. I learned my lesson. Ever since then, never. Lease. Thanks for asking my first question. I have another question. Would you do curbside final amount with a 16-foot box truck? Yeah, if you have an opportunity, a curbside opportunity in your market that requires a 16-foot box truck, why not? St. Louis says this is a good topic. We need another separate live on this. Which topic is that we talking about? Which topic is that, St. Louis? Over time, I think leasing is safer. You even get a rental while your truck is down. When you lease your truck go down, it can cost. Right. So like I said earlier, a lease is treated different from a rental. They treat the lease customer better. Why? Because you go in a long-term agreement. See, with a rental customer, I can rent today and tell you I'm going to keep it for 30 days or 60 days. But if I bring it back tomorrow, there's no agreement that ties and holds me into what I verbally told you yesterday. A lease agreement, it's a long-term agreement. So we are obligated to satisfy that customer a little bit better because they're satisfying us financially better, and it's in contract. So even if they break the contract, we're still owed X amount of money because it's in the contract. So yes, they have an obligation for a lease customer that if the lease vehicle goes down, to put you in another vehicle because you're under contract. We're paying whatever it is a month for a vehicle. So you are obligated to give me something. With a rental, man, it's laissez-faire. Oh, the truck broke down. Oh, where you at? You say you're scared. What? You're in the middle of nowhere? Well, the nearest town is about 50, 60 miles out. We'll see what they got to offer. Oh, well, that town doesn't have a wrecker available. There's only one tow truck in that town, and it's a safe tow truck. It's not even a flatbed. It's a safe tow, and that safe tow is not rated to lift that box. Oh, and your truck is loaded. Yeah, we got to call a wrecker. Oh, we found a guy. We found a town with a wrecker. It's about 120 miles north of where you're at, so it's going to take him about 2-3 hours. But he's on another call, towing somebody that's 50 miles east. So once he finishes up with that, they're telling us about 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, we got to get a wrecker there because you're loaded. So it's got to be a wrecker, and you're in the middle of nowhere. What? Are you still there? Are you still? Oh, thanks for calling us back. Yeah, I'm in the middle of nowhere. The cell signal is down. Man, it's starting to get dark. Yeah, well, I mean, I hear you. We're trying to work with you. Then they finally get you there and they tow you somewhere. And, well, man, I got to keep working. Well, we'll see what we can do for you. We'll get back to you in 48 hours. You're a rental. This is why rental customers that go through this shit, they complain and they get upset because it's nothing really etched in stone. You got a rental, but we got a guy over here leasing. We got to make sure he's straight. Because if we don't, it's a breach of contract on our end. You a rental. We can just terminate this. All right, well, the truck broke down. All right, so we'll stop the rental right now. We'll charge you for what you rented up to this point. And I don't know, if you want to come in and rent another truck, we'll be here 9 to 5. If you don't, okay. So, yeah, so it's different. You get treated different as a lease customer versus a rental truck customer. What about a G-Wagon? I think G-Wagon, if you ask me what my opinion, I think it's nice, but I think it's turned into the soccer mom vehicle for the upper class. They're charging $100,000 right now over sticker, and I'm not gonna spend $250 on a $175,000 truck. I think the waiting list for a G-Wagon right now is about a year. So I like G-Wagons. If I was in the market for a luxury SUV, I would definitely add it to my list. between that to lease that a Range Rover, between that and a Range, depending on what my budget was, maybe that Range and maybe like depending if I had a need for speed, maybe a Urus. If let's say I had a budget of 200,000, but I'm not gonna spend $100,000, $75 to $100,000 over sticker for a G-Wagon because it's in high demand. No, I'm straight. It ain't worth it to me. That's what I think. I think it's dope, but I think they marking them up too much right now. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button. The older model BMWs are better maintenance wise than those newer model BMWs. I have an 01 X5, very reliable. Well, it depends on the model, because that 02 through 08 745 was trash. That was the worst 7 Series BMW has ever did by far. The bubble, when they came out with that bubble in 02, that 02 through 08 745 750 series, that bubble back in the day that everybody was going crazy, that was the worst 7 Series by far. So I don't know. We may have to agree to disagree and say, or maybe say it depends on the model, because that 2000 Series 7 was horrible. Horrible. You don't even see those on the street no more. You didn't even see them on the street towards the end of that run. They were so bad. St. Louis says, some people understand the basics, but now how to sustain it and build it and what to build it to and what the banks are and aren't looking for. Yep. Those G-Wagons are, Ranges are terrible. Older guys like my age, we always say if you're going to buy a Range, make sure you buy 2. So when one is in the shop or at the dealer getting service, you still got the other one to stun in. A Range is okay if you lease it. If you lease the Range, because they have a lot of electrical issues, if you lease the Range, 3-year lease, you'll be fine. Because right when those problems start to begin, you're getting out of it. So as long as you leasing it, it's fine. I for the life of me, I don't understand why people buy Range Rovers. And even worse, for the life of me, I don't understand why people buy pre-owned Range Rovers. Buying a pre-owned Range Rover is the worst thing you could do, because anybody that knows anything about Land Rover, Range Rover, know that Range Rover is going to have electrical problems and it's going to stay in the shop. You're never going to see it. You're never going to see it because it's always going to be at the dealer. So it's best to just lease it and get in and get out. Yeah. So, all right. Unless anybody got any more questions on equipment, funding, or any other thing, I'm gonna go ahead and skedaddle. Mario said, "Lexus, here we come." I think there's some other good cars out there that are luxury. I don't think Lexus is what they used to be as far as design. I think they need to hire some new designers, a new design team. They don't look as good as they used to look back in the 90s. But yeah. All right. So any other questions? Hopefully I don't have to come back on here later in my black suit and my black Air Force Ones, if y'all know what I mean. Hopefully I don't have to come back on here later with my black Air Force Ones. I'm trying to be cool. I do not want to come back on here later with my black Air Force Ones. Hey, the person who I'm talking about, he probably don't even know I'm talking about him. Black Air Force Ones. What does Black Air Force Ones signify? I do not want to put my Black Air Force Ones on, man. Please. Let's keep it a white Air Force One day. All right. Let's keep it a white Air Force One day, guys. All right. It's only 2 people that wear black Air Force Ones. Oh, man. It's only 2 people that wear black Air Force Ones. One is McDonald's workers, and the other is people that's looking to slide. All right. I don't want to put no black Air Force Ones on, and I'm damn sure not working at McDonald's. So, for my research on a lease with Penske is difficult. It's probably more difficult for an individual owner operator than it is for some of these larger companies that you see that are leasing a multitude of vehicles. Yeah. Because a lot of individual owner operators aren't going to have the requirements of what Penske is looking for to qualify them for that lease. Same thing with Ryder. Shout out to Craig Freeman. Appreciate you. Don't forget the black leather gloves. Yeah, the black leather gloves too. Hurst was charging me $600 a month for a 16-foot box truck unlimited miles. That's a great deal then. I remember when I was renting 16-footers back in 2011, I was paying, what, $225 a week? 10 cents a mile. So that's a great deal. How do you loan the money to your company? All right, simple. Write a check. Write a check from your personal account to your business account. So that way you have a paper trail. So if your name is June Gotti and the name of your business is JG Transport, you're going to write a check for $100,000 from your personal account to JG Trucking, and you're going to title it as loan. The memo, you're going to put loan to business, $100,000. It's going to hit your business account, right? Because it's going to withdraw those funds from your personal to your business. So now your CPA sees that in January of 2024, June Gotti loaned JG Transport Incorporated $100,000. So now it understands why every month you're writing a check from JG Transport Incorporated to June Gotti of $1,000. Repayment of loan. You write it off. Because remember, it's important that you do the paper trail, because once you loan that business that $100,000, once that $100,000 becomes available in your business checking account, that's income. It's looked at by the IRS as income. So you have to be diligent in paying yourself back so you can write it off so it can cancel itself out, right? Over time. You said, hey, yo, no black Air Force One. I said, man, when you slide, you got to put the black Air Forces on. Only people that's wearing black Air Forces is people that sliding and McDonald's workers. If you're not sliding or you're not working at McDonald's, you should not be out here walking around these streets with some black Air Force Ones. Period. I don't want to ever see nobody in no black Air Force One. If you're not, I don't go to McDonald's, all right? I don't eat McDonald's. If you're not working at McDonald's, you're not sliding, you shouldn't be wearing no black Air Force Ones. Let's keep this a white Air Force One day. We only wearing white Air Force Ones today, guys. If I started over today, I would never start with a reefer. Now, I wouldn't. This reefer just ain't me. Some people enjoy reefer. Some people like it. Not me. Not me. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Would a bank loan me the money to buy a truck? Is that still an equipment loan? If the bank loans you the money, it's a traditional bank loan. They would just loan either you personally, and then you can loan that money to the business, or they would loan your business the money, and then, or you can get a business line of credit with a bank. You need to go sit down with your personal banker and see what products they have, and if you qualify for anything. Be mindful that all banks now won't talk to you for any type of lending unless you've been in the business for 2 to 3 years. So if you ain't been in business 2 or 3 years, don't even waste your time. They ain't even going to talk to you. They're going to give you a sheet of paper that's going to list all the requirements. And the first requirement that they're going to give you say must be in business 2 years or must be in business 3 years, depending on the banking institution. Say, Lewis said, hey, man, I can style some black F41. Nah, man. Listen. I'm going to say it one more time. Don't get offended now, because some of y'all be getting offended. You wearing black Air Force Ones, McDonald's, Burger King, some type of fast food restaurant. We just going to say a fast food restaurant, or you sliding. Anybody I see coming towards me and they ain't got on a Burger King, a McDonald's uniform, where I can eliminate them, then I'm thinking they on bullshit. So now I'm clutching, I'm paying attention. I don't know where everybody else is from. I know here, if you got on black Air Force One and you ain't got the little McDonald's cap with the hole right here, with the Velcro in the back, with your big baggy Dickies and your black Air Force Ones, if you don't have on a fast food uniform, then I'm keeping my eye on you. You want some bullshit. You're not styling no black Air Force Ones. You want some bullshit, family. I ain't never seen nobody style no black Air Force Ones. You on bullshit. And I'm going to keep my eye on you. St. Louis, I got my eye on you now. Because you talking about some black Air Force Ones. So I got my eye on you. You want some bullshit. Big Hearn said reefer units get so much issues being that they constantly run majority of the time. That's true also. I got some subs that, actually, if you look at one of the testimonials, one guy replaced his reefer unit. I think he spent $25,000. He had to replace it, if I'm not mistaken. I got to go back and look at that content. But yeah. Chicago's very own. If that's an option for you, if you can get a personal loan, then loan it to the business. That's what I'm saying, Mar. That's why I said for sliders. I just didn't want to say that for the algorithm. I can't say it. So I got to say words like unalive and delete and shit like that. YouTube doesn't let you say. That's why I said slide. That's what I meant, slide. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to say that. But yeah. Black Louis Vuittons is cool. Especially the black and white skaters that's out right now. If you can get your hands on some, yeah, them cool. But black Air Force Ones, nah, man, we ain't, no. See, that's how a lot of these tourists and stuff be getting got. If you would have paid attention to the shoes, pay attention to the shoes. Black Air Force Ones, be careful. Be careful. Now, I'm giving y'all too much. I'm telling y'all how to be aware of your surroundings based on the shoes a person got on, man. It said black Air Force One is Chicken Shack footwear. Black Dunks. You know what? I can't recall the last time I seen somebody wearing some black Dunks. But I would put them in the category. Listen, if it ain't like a Dior, a Gucci, or a Louis, or a Balenciaga, I even throw a McQueen, and I really don't like the throw. I think the McQueen was the PPP Air Force One. Listen, I'm sorry. Don't get offended. Don't get offended. I'm just being honest because I know somebody in here got them all white with the blue heel cap, or all black with the white heel cap. You know, with the jail with the jail sole. That was the PPP Air Force One. Everybody that got a PPP went out and bought them some McQueens. But for just for the example, I use it only this one time only. All right. To me, a McQueen, keeping it a buck with you, it's a lot of people out here sliding with they all black McQueens that they got in 2021 with their PPP money. They out here doing smash and grabs, right? They're out here doing smash and grabs, and they're all black McQueens. All right. You know what? Fuck it. McQueens and black Air Force One, same thing. Same thing. Don't get mad at me. It is what it is. I'm sorry. We putting the all black McQueen on the same level as the all black Air Force One. I'm sorry. Be mad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. If you got some all black McQueens, you ain't no better than the person with the all black Air Force Ones. Straight up. I ain't tripping. I'm keeping it a buck. Man, listen. So you telling me the McQueens didn't turn into the new the high-end Air Force One? You tripping. Every single person in the hood had on a pair of McQueens during the pandemic. Made me not even want a pair. I'm going to show you one better. And I don't do this. I went to get a pair of McQueens during the pandemic. I wanted a pair. I wanted the all black pair with the clear sole, but I didn't get one because all the PPP people had them. And I really wanted a pair because I wanted to wear them with some stack. I bought a black pair of stacked denim. I had a black shirt, an all black Burberry shirt. I was going to a birthday party, so I'm like, damn, I can't get these. So I ended up having to buy another pair. I had to buy something totally different. I actually bought two pairs. I bought some McQueens that day, but I bought two other styles of McQueens that day. I didn't buy those. Have I ever heard of Cronum Delivery and Logistics? Found them on Craigslist. Got a couple decent. No, I never heard of them. The Air Max 95s is cool. I know I was right. St. Louis, you can't say them McQueen. Them McQueens was all people was wearing during the pandemic. Now people sliding in them. They sliding in them and they working at McDonald's in them. Facts. I'm keeping it a buck. I am not bullshitting. I'm not saying this for humor. I was in the grocery store. One of the little chicks that ring you up, I swear she had some on. No cap. No cap. Do I know anything about 10-year-old trucks? Yeah, I still own 2 trucks that are over 10 years old. I know about older trucks. Well, some older trucks, not all. Man, listen. During that time, people weren't going to StockX. They had that money. They was down at Neiman's. They was down at Saks. They was in line. All right. They was getting them all black. They was getting them white McQueens with the blue heel tab. They was getting all black ones. All black with the black heel tab. It was getting them all white ones. I'm telling you what I know. I seen it. I saw it. I was outside during the pandemic. I was outside. Mark was outside. I seen them. I still want a pair, but I can't get a pair because Man in them got them. I can't wear the same thing Man in them got on. You said those joints like Chuck T's to us in New York? Which joints? What you talking about? What you talking about? Which joints? Which joints you talking about? The only thing that I can think of that reminds me of Chuck Taylor's that's on the high end side, that's out right now is the B23s. The B23s to me is like a high end Chuck Taylor. The Dior B23s. June Gotti. Can you get around companies that require a truck that can't be 10 years old? I got turned down for my truck being over 10 years old. Can I finesse it? Nope, because you got to put your registration in. And once you put your registration in, they know how old your truck is. Some companies just don't want vehicles older than a certain age. So, and you got to register it. They want to see your registration, your insurance. So there's no way around it. Unless you finesse that, but then if they ask for your VIN, then it's another problem. All right. Is that it, guys? Any more questions? How long have I been on here? 2 hours? I think that's good enough. I kicked it with y'all a little bit. We talked about sneakers. So, Rick Owens. I like Rick Owens. The Rick Owens I like are like $3,000, so I just can't see myself paying $3,000 for a pair of shoes. But I like Rick Owens. I think they dope. It's just the ones I like are $3,000, and I'm not gonna pay $3,000 for a pair of shoes. St. Louis said people need to stop trying to finesse and do the correct thing. True that. True that. I think if you do the right thing, I think you'll survive over a long period of time. I think finessing gives you short-term, like instant short-term, satisfaction, but a finesse is only going to last so long. If you do things the right way, you may have to work a little bit harder for it. It may take a little bit longer to acquire than the finesse, but in the long run, it works out better for you. So I think people just don't have patience. All right. So great live today, guys. I appreciate everyone. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. I'll see you guys again. Hopefully it's not later on today with the Black Air Force Ones. I'm out. Peace.